For Fitness Friday. Casey, what are we talking about today?
So today we're going to talk about squats and lunges. And squats and lunges are a big deal because a lot of people do them in their fitness routines, whether at home or at the club or wherever they're going to go. So it's kind of a staple exercises, but they're one of those things that, that gets done incorrectly a lot. So we want to make sure to clean it up. I hear as a trainer a lot of time people saying that they don't do squats or lunges because they have bad knees. A lot of times bad squats and bad lunges lead to bad knees, and good squats and good lunges can help create healthy knees. So we want to really be focused on some of the Foreman technique of the squats and lunges to help with longevity and make sure that the joints are healthy.
All right, now what exact muscle groups do squats and lunges work? Just for some viewers.
So the primary driver and the main area that we're focusing on is your backside. So your hips, your glutes are the primary drivers of your squats, your lunges. Of course, we have all the muscles in the legs working, but when we're talking about what drives you up out of the bottom, it is the hips, and we want as much movement as possible in the hips opposed to the knees. And when we get knee pain from squats and lunges is when the hips don't move and the knees are moving too much. Okay. So the knees aren't built to take that much force or work, so we want to make sure that the force and work is on the hip.
Okay, make it easy on the knees.
We're going to make it easy on the knees. That's how we're going to roll. Okay, you ready to go?
I'm ready.
So here's what we're going to do. First, I want you to make sure that your big toes are dug into the ground, which is going to connect the whole inside of your foot down to the ground and put that weight right where it needs to be on your heel and on the bones in your lower leg. Okay. From there, we're going to initiate by hinging and kind of sticking your butt out behind you. Now, a lot of people will actually sit down, keeping the hips under, and that puts a lot of shearing force on the knees. So we're going to sit back into the hinge.
So it's like you're going to sit on a chair.
Perfect, right there. Now, as she's sitting back, she's got really good posture. We also want to be careful when we sit back, we don't lose that posture. We kind of hinge and keep that spine nice and neutral. As you continue to lower, go ahead and keep sitting, keep sitting, keep sitting, keep sitting, keep sitting. Nice. Now here, we're also going to watch the knees. And this is a big one, especially on women. A lot of times the knees will start to drive in just a little bit. So we're just going to push them apart gently. So actually push against my hands. Yep, and you're going to feel this upper hip turning on here a little bit more.
Should your knees be bent enough that you can't see your toes?
You want your ankles to move a bit. So as you go down lower and lower and lower, you're going to get to the point where you can't quite see your toes, but as long as you're loaded into the hips, that's okay. Where we get into problems is when the hips come under. Okay. So we want to be really back into the hips, and that's why we always start by sticking the butt out first, and then we just try and keep those knees in line. Go ahead and keep sitting, keep sitting, keep sitting. So we want those knees just in line with the hip and the ankle by pressing those knees out just a teeny bit, and that's going to turn on that upper hip. But then the big thing we're watching through the whole time is your posture. You got really good posture here. We're not losing it, we're not slumping, or we're not too bent through the back. So we want to watch that posture and make sure it's tight we go through. So quick recap, you ready?
I'm ready.
Dig in the big toes.
Digging.
Sit the hips down back, maintaining tall posture. Keep sitting back into that squat. Keep going. Make sure those knees are in between the hips and the ankles, drawing back, and then squeeze the glutes to come up into what we call full hip extension.
Okay, so that's the same with or without weights.
Right. Now, very important thing though is that has to be really good and really comfortable before we start putting weight on it. Because the second I put weight on your back, if I'm doing knee dominant squats, now all of a sudden the force and the shearing force on my knees just went through the roof. So you gotta be really careful to make sure it's clean before we load it.
All right, yes.
Now the lunge is kind of cool because it's the same thing. So the only difference is we have 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. But the lunge is the same action in the leg, it's the same driving through the hips. So with the lunge, we want to make sure that those feet are wide enough that you're kind of centered your weight in between them and that back heel is gently off the ground. Okay. Now you can see she's doing a great job with both those toes pointing forward. That's a big thing there. We want to make sure the toes aren't turned.
No pigeon toes.
Exactly.
Turned out.
On either foot. On this one, we'll see a lot of times that it turns out this way, and this one likes to turn in this way. So we want to make sure that they're forward and forward. Now the big thing is you go into the lunge, the posture is incredibly tall. We're dropping down, bend this back knee, and at the bottom we want to be about 90 degrees with the shoulders over the hips. And then we're going to raise up. Now what we'll see a lot is as people drop down, they keep this hip closed. So that posture starts to lose. They keep this hip closed and then drive up. Okay, we want to stay open and allow that hip to open as it rolls down through. Perfect. So we got this nice straight line from the shoulder down to that bottom leg and then driving up, and we got good movement in the ankle, and just like on the squat, staying connected on the inside of your foot down on that big toe. Perfect. All right, so let's recap.
Okay.
So we're going to start with our setup. We're going to have our front foot forward.
Legs this time.
That sounds good.
Tired.
It's getting tired now. And now the right foot goes back. I'm going to make sure that my big toe is dug down into the ground. I'm going to start with that very tall posture, shoulders tucked down and back, shoulders over top of the hips. I'm going to lower straight down, not forward, till I get about an inch off the ground, about 90 and 90 in the knees. Posture's tall, and then I'm going to scissor through the hips to extend up.
All right.
How's that feel in the knees?
Feels good.
It feels good.
Yeah, I don't even feel it in my knees.
Perfect.
So if you had to recommend if someone's just starting out and they want to do some lunges today, how many sets, how many lunges?
That is a great question. One of the biggest things is make sure that the integrity of the exercise stays. So like when you're starting off, you don't want to go too long because then you're going to start to fatigue and your form's going to break down. So if you can go between like 6 and 12 reps with good quality form, doing that a couple sets or a couple times, just think of it more practicing the movement, getting comfortable with it, and then we can start to challenge it once we've gotten good at it.
All right, well, thank you so much for being here, Casey, and hopefully you guys can perfect your squats and lunges. Tune in every Friday for Fitness Friday.